telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know if I'll ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down. Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know if I'll ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down. Even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down.
What's up, everybody? Welcome on to Tuesday Tea Time. I am your guy, Icky Timey. It's good to have you guys with us. Happy New Year! I hope everything's going well for you as it is for me. And I'm really just excited and blessed to like rock out another new year. What's up? What's up, my guy? What's up, Gamal? Good to see you, Alex, my man. Love to you guys, and of course Annie and Jillian. It's a great day to be alive. We're gonna just hang out with a couple young adults who's actually doing ministry in the local context. Why I think that's pretty amazing and pretty awesome is because most pastors, at least in our denomination, get paid for what we do. And so we get to spend a lot of time curating material, working out our stuff. And those who volunteer, who choose to be a part of the church because it's their passion, they have to give and they have to work on some kind of living. So, man, I really appreciate our young adults as well as all of our church members who are volunteering time. Like my guy Alex. Alex always doing something over the top, amazing for the faith community, as well as all of you on here. So we're gonna be hanging out with them today. But if you get an opportunity to start the new year right, smash that like button, hit the subscribe to the One House Socal over at YouTube, and it's gonna be great. It'll be nice for all of us to stay together and stay caught up all the way through the year. Yeah, my dude, God bless all of our volunteers, man. We're blessed peoples to have those doing that. By the way, Pastor Gamal is over at the Compton Community Church, and they are rocking some heavily good things out there. So you want to make sure you want to catch up with the Compton Community Church because they're doing business every weekend, and God bless their volunteers and all the hard work that they put in. Thank you, man. It's that shave. It's the shave, man. So today we've got on with us Hannah and Christina, the sisters, the Ceballos sisters. They're going to be on here with us. They are professionals in the world as well as doing youth ministries and rocking things over at the church at Alhambra. And we've got Lewston. Lewston Morris is over at the Downey SDA Church. He's going to correct me when he comes on here, but also very involved in the world they live in. So these three young adults in the SCC aren't just professionals, but local ministry leaders. They work at multicultural churches, and they're going to share with us a little bit about their lives today. They're going to share about some of their faith, some of their challenges, some of the things they've really enjoyed, and their hopes and dreams for 2021. Before we do that, we want to do our Say Hello campaign. If you haven't had a chance, jump into our www.scc.adventist.org and go to the Say Hello campaign, which is a / Say Hello. Drop in your info, say what's up, and we would love to post you up here. We're also pushing it out in some of our emails across the conference just so that other people in our conference can meet you. Today, we want to say hello to Sarah Grover. Sarah Grover is a young adult youth pastor who says that she is missing out being with people in person. That's one of her favorite things ever, and she's really just bummed that she can't do that. So she's looking forward to getting back to that place, but until then, she continues to lean on God to sustain her through these times. Thank you, Sarah, for reminding us in these moments that God is still leading us, and one day we'll be able to break bread together again. Yes. What's up, Matthew? What's up, Lauren? Thank you. Yes, loving these say hellos. By the way, loving them. I want to shout out Lauren Laxon, our communications director who's on here today. Please send her some love. Let her know that she's doing a great job. And she's the one who's working with Oriah to curate all of these say hello campaign things for you. Yeah? All right, cool. All right, Jillian, Matt, Gamal, let's get into our time together. What's up, my peoples?
Hey.
Hey, what's going on, Ceballos girls?
Just
do
this all at the same time.
Just living it up. So let's start here. Hey, I'm sorry, Lewston, I didn't see you there. You're here too. What's up, man? Good to see you.
What's up, Vicky? How you doing?
Good, 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 good. If you are all joining us, I'm with Lewston Morris, and I am with Hannah and Christina Ceballos. Feel free to drop some comments, drop some love, say what's up, ask some questions. We're going to talk about what it means to be a young adult moving through this time, this season, loving ministry and church and life. And guys, we're going to get started like we always do. Tell me, what are you drinking today?
Squirt sodas.
Did you say squirt? Yo, throwback. I didn't even know they still made
That was
squirt.
good.
No, the real throwback. Cactus coolers.
Oh, man. Wow. Luce, what are you drinking?
Well, I have my Hyperfrost. I've had it for like years, and my mentality with this is always put water. I never put anything else in there just to make sure I drink water.
Yeah.
But because it's a new year, and rain in the new year, I brought a special drink for the occasion. This is called Jamaica Cola. So it's like champagne, but for Jamaica, yeah. But for Jamaica, yeah. So I brought this for the new year celebration, and so cheers.
Nice. Now, that champagne, is it non-alcoholic or alcoholic?
Non-alcoholic. Sorry, non-alcoholic.
Listen,
Let me clarify that.
Jesus saves, man. That's all I'm saying. Jesus saves.
Yep.
And it's a rough season for everybody. So I you know what? I want to thank Tim for pointing out we've got a bit of a reverb here. Guys, you know what? I know it's the new year. I've been doing this forever now, and still sound tends to get away from me. So I'm going to try to fix our reverb as we go. But if it doesn't get better, don't judge us. It's the new year, all right? We're gonna keep moving forward here. Now, Christina and Hannah, can you guys just tell me? Can you ladies? Sorry about that. Can you ladies tell us where you're from, where you grew up, and what's your heritage?
All right. So we grew up in Alhambra. Go to Alhambra Church. And we are Black and Hispanic.
You're what?
Black and Hispanic.
Ah, Black and Hispanic. Yes. Nice. What part of your Hispanic culture does your dad come from? I'm gonna guess it's your dad because I met him.
Yes.
He's awesome.
Tabasco, Mexico.
All right. Very good. Listen, what about you, bro?
Born and raised in Cerritos. Go to Whittier SDA Church. Been there 25 years.
Nice.
And then Jamaican background all the way through.
Nice. Jamaican, huh? Very good. Now, somebody is getting picked up right now. Who of you is getting picked up? Oh, sorry. I heard the police coming, or that might have been an ambulance. So I'm not sure.
Ambulance.
Our bad. Very good. Okay. So did all of you guys grow up here in Socal?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we all did.
And did you all go? What schools did you all go to? Did you guys go to private schooling or public school?
Private for me, and then public school for college.
Okay. Which private school did you go to, Lewston?
I went to SGA.
SGA. Little love for the SGAers out there. San Gabriel Adventist Academy in San Gabriel. I guess it's Temple City. Is it Temple City?
Temple City, yeah.
Awesome. Okay, very good. And my ladies, where did you all go to school at?
So we did a little bit of both. We were public school, private school, back to public school, and graduated from public universities.
Right on. What private schools did you go to when you actually went there?
SGA.
Oh, dude. I did
Yeah.
not plan that out at all. So you all, you all went to a San Gabriel Academy at some point. Wow, that's
Yes.
fantastic. Tim, Alex, thanks for letting us know that the reverb has gotten better. Praise the Lord. All right. Wow, very cool. So what years did you go to Lauren Laxon? I think Lauren was also at San Gabriel Academy. Look, there's a lot of you guys around. Dang.
There's
Um,
more than you realize.
no, seriously. Did you know my wife went to San Gabriel Academy as well?
What?
I
Yes.
know. Yeah, this is truth. Like you guys are some sneaky peoples, man. You're all over the place. All right, all right, all right. So let's get down to a little bit. Ceballos girls. First of all, is it Ceballos with an S at the end or Ceballo without the S?
S with the S.
With the S. All right, Ceballos
Yeah.
girls. Tell me, what local church are you at, and where do you put your time in?
At Alhambra SDA, where we are currently in our collegiate room. So if you see
Nice.
behind us, we have a projector because most of us like to come into the collegiate room, put on the projector, watch some Netflix, wholesome stuff.
Right. Yeah. Hey, listen. Are you still doing that right now? Don't be lying to me. Listen, we're all here together, people. Just us
Lying?
four,
What?
and the rest of the internet with us. Chuggies, GAA and LLA. LLA, is that Loma Linda Academy? Okay, man, we got some people representing out here, man. And GAA, for those of you who are watching, I have no idea, is Glendale Adventist Academy, who happens to be kind of a. Isn't there a rivalry between those two schools, or before? Wasn't there a bit of a rivalry?
Between SGA and GAA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is that's right? Okay, okay. Wow. So let me ask you this: when you guys were at San Gabriel, what one thing you believed you were better at than Glendale was? I'll start with Lewston. Lewston.
Oh, sports. Sports all around.
All of them. Huh?
All around. All around. Just that was it. Every
Did,
sport.
did you
Every
hear
sport
that,
out there.
Chugs?
Basketball, volleyball, yeah, everyone.
My guy Oscar's gonna be mad at you. What about you two ladies? What's one thing you think? You know what, San Gabriel was it had some bad spots, but this is what we were better at than Glendale was.
I'm just gonna go with a safe bet and be like, we had better food around our school. So we had better things around us.
Nice.
Amen.
For sure.
Amen.
That's debatable. Maybe.
Not a debate. You asked what I thought was better. And I said our food.
You're right. You're right. You know what? Temple City, that San Gabriel Valley has a lot of really good food. Lots of really good food. So, what do you two ladies do over at the Alhambra Seventh-day Adventist Church?
What don't we do?
The masters of it all.
So I am the youth and collegiate director.
Nice.
I'm also one of the head audiovisual members. I do all the audio work, and we're also adventure leaders. And on top of that, I also sit on the executive board at the conference.
Wow. You are one busy chica, man. Now, you said you're part of the audio visual team, and I've seen Alhambra's digital board, so they use the same one that we use when we get around, and it's a
Yes.
good board. So you actually need to know what you're doing when you're using it. It's hard to get away with not having using it much practice or much knowledge about it. So you really are super engaged at what you're doing. Fantastic.
Yep.
What about you, Hannah? That's
I
my
just
girl,
want to
Hannah.
acknowledge,
Hannah,
yes,
you my
we do
girl, man.
one house as
Oh yeah,
well.
one house too.
I want to
Thank you, Sarah, for correcting us. And
Yes.
one house.
Yes.
I am the church's administrative assistant. I'm the head visual for our audiovisual team. I'm one of the adventure leaders. I am our church's clerk, and I'm also one of the church deacons.
Ooh, man. and you guys preach every other week.
Huh?
No, I'm playing.
What?
I'm playing.
Once a year,
Alex is,
maybe.
Alex is asking what board, because Alex is also an audio phenom. He's a beast when it comes to audio visual stuff. In fact, he and I have had, Alex, you and I have had an opportunity to sit down and talk and eat. And I visited your church, and just before everything went sideways, we had a few plans that we can't quite do right now. But I'll let you answer that. What kind of board you guys are using there, Christina? Because you're the audio tech girl.
Oh, we do the Behringer X32.
That's right, the Behringer X32.
Mm.
Yes, a beast of a machine that does a lot of great things, but you have to know how to make it do it. And yes, you guys are doing a bunch of one house stuff. I'm so thankful for these girls, man. They're always rocking out a bunch of stuff. Hannah's always hitting me up like, "Hey, Icky, did you put that email out?" I'm like, "Dang, Mom, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. I promise, man."
It's that administrative assistant in me. I got to be on top of all the pastors.
Yeah, she is, man. She's on top of it. I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for that. So Lewston, tell us a little bit about where you at, my bro. Jamaica.
Yeah. So I'm at Whittier SDA Church. I just became the new ministry director for the church. So I run and operate all the ministries for our church and making sure they have all the resources they need for their ministry. I'm also the youth young adult ministry director at the church. I am a head elder at our church. I run our audio and visual system at our church, and now just recently I run our streaming service at our church as well. So a lot of hats above and beyond. So yeah.
When you all are talking, I feel like it's that movie where a cowboy rides into like a little town and like the mayor shows up and he's like, "And I'm the sheriff and I'm the criminal." And like, you know, like he switches the hats and he's like, "I'm also the postman." Like, y'all be doing work, man. These churches wouldn't exist without what you guys are doing. By the way, everybody, every church should have some Ceballoses and some Morrises. Like this is how it is, man. I'm so thankful for all the stuff that you guys are doing. Seriously. Lauren says Lewston is awesome. Lewston, in case you didn't know this, there are people in the world who think you're awesome. Not me, but people in the world.
Thanks, Lauren.
Lewston,
Appreciate it.
I have your
wow.
back.
That's
You're
right.
awesome. You do way too much.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's
Thank
true.
you. Thank
It's
you.
true. It's true. Y'all be doing some good work. Good work. So, Lewston, I'll start with you. Let me ask, my bro. What inspired this, man? Because, well, you're not getting paid for this, are you?
Okay, for years, no, but I recently just became an official employee of the church.
Hey, praise God, man. That's good.
So now I wasn't. And I think the one thing that just motivated me was just ministry in general. Like I really just enjoy doing ministry. I enjoy helping people, and I enjoy seeing people's I guess I would say growth and process into like in loving God, and especially in young people. I feel like young people are like kind of the most realist ones out there. Like I love adults, but like adults kind of how do I say this nicely? No, well, you know what I mean. But anyway, yeah. So, but like,
right now,
I mean, yeah, young people. No, I'm not. I'm not trying. I'm just saying. But like, young people have no filter. They'll straight up say like what's going on. And I actually respect that out of them. So I just love working with young people. And I think the cool thing about it is when you see the growth in a young person and like just the change out of them. And it's sort of like it's seeing the seed that you planted and then seeing how that seed is just developing. And though it may not bloom into a beautiful flower that same moment or like within that year, it takes time. And then when you finally see it blossom, it's just yeah, it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. So yeah, I think that's what really got me into ministry, just seeing the process of change. Because I saw it in myself. So I like when other people see it as well.
Wow, truth, man. Very true. What about you ladies? What what inspired you to just start doing ministry the way you've been doing it?
I'll start. Part of it was when I was younger, I would go around and help some of our elderly members uh, by learning the deacon duties and everything. So I just started doing work with them, and I kind of learned how to do all of it. So that's where it started for me, just wanting to help them. And then when my parents became, like my mom, she became the children's leadership director. Uh, we did VBS, and I just kind of threw myself into helping my mom organize everything, and it started from there. So I just started slowly doing all the logistics behind all the work that gets done to make events happen.
It's slightly
So that's how
addicting,
I
huh?
started. A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Did you start at an early age, Hannah, or did you start a little bit like older when you got older?
At a fairly early age, I started around the age of 7.
Yeah.
So I was what they call the junior deaconess. So I
Mm.
learned to do all the deacon duties, how to do communion, the setup to foot washing. So because we had a few older women who are our head deaconesses, and I was able-bodied, so I just started helping them.
Yeah. You are for real super helpful though, man. I'm gonna just put this out to the public. Like especially when we're working on projects, if I need something, it's like you already thought of it, and I'm like in my head, I'm like, man, I really need a hammer. And then you're like, hey, do you need a hammer? I'm like, what? How'd you get out of my head? How'd you know this? Like you are serious, man. Like you have a gift for it, it's a spiritual gift. And so that's interesting. Christina, what about you? Was it like I got to do this because I'm pressured into it, or did it just kind of naturally come to you? Why did you decide that you're going to get super involved in ministry? This is important because pastors need to know, and administrators need to know how we can get people involved, and what really is at the core of our young adults when it comes to getting engaged.
With family.
What's that, Christina?
Uh, Part of it has to do with just our family.
Mm.
So our grandpa was a pastor, and so all of my aunts and my mom were always heavily involved in the church.
Mm.
So we just kind of grew up seeing that this is what you do on Saturday. You
Yeah.
help out, you go where you are needed. And so I started off doing audiovisual at the age of 15.
Wow.
So not to give away my age, but I've been doing it a while.
Dang, that's let me ask this as young adults, and I'm going to ask this to all of you guys, and I'm going to come back to some of the questions that we've got here. By the way, thank you so much for commenting and questioning and bringing up stuff, guys. We're going to ask these to our team, but as young adults, Lewston, I'm gonna guess that you also got involved at quite an early age. I've known you for most of your life, and you seem to have always been involved in ministry. The beard is kind of a newer thing,
Yeah,
but you've always been involved in
yeah.
ministry.
That this comes with stress of working in ministry for church.
Right, right.
So, um, yeah, I think I mean, I don't know, Icky. I gotta. That's a question I've always pondered a lot. When it comes to being involved in ministry, and what uh just what it involves a lot, I guess. Can you answer the question again? I just want to make sure, like, I want to answer this correctly.
Well, the basic question really is how old were you when you started doing ministry, but why you got engaged? What started that engine for you?
Yeah,
Because
see, that's a
it's important.
no, yeah, 'cause that's the thing, like getting involved in ministry. I mean, it all starts when you're a kid, I'm assuming, because your parents put you in it and you force you into doing it a lot. So I mean, there's no like, I'm being honest. Like, it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
like,
Be real, man.
oh,
Be
I,
real.
like I'm like 8 years old, like I want to be involved in this. Like, no, like that never happened at all. It's kind of like get up on that stage and sing. Like, so it's like there's a big difference when it comes to like getting involved in ministry. I think personally, what made me get involved and really, like, I will say the actual age where I really committed myself was at age 20. And it was because of my head pastor and my mentor from my church, where he asked me to be the youth and adult ministry director. And it was during a time where I would say I was in church, but I wasn't really in church, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it was one of those areas where I'm just like, you want me to minister to young kids about Christ, where I'm still trying to figure out for myself. And then he was like, yeah, like, go ahead and do it. He's like, do your best and let God lead for sure. And I would never forget that, like, honestly. And I always think to myself, like, what made him choose, or what made him think of me as someone to lead? Um, and so ever since then, it just really, I would say at age 20 is kind of when I really got involved into ministry. And I think it's one of the best decisions I ever made in my life. And it's one of those things where I would say, I thank God, and I thank for pushy church members and parents of really, getting me engaged, involved in ministry, because I think from there, being a part of that and doing that kind of motivated me to want to do more, and then to be given the keys and the reins and the, I guess, the vote of confidence from my pastor of picking a sinner like myself to go into ministry and to lead young people. And
Ooh,
so, yeah, I
preach.
think that's everything changed.
Preach. Let me ask you this then as a follow-up question, and this will apply
Yeah.
to you two girls as well after Lewston answers it. So, if you could point to someone who was a pinnacle individual in your life that influenced you into ministry, who would that be?
Oh, that's like so I have to answer that honestly. It's a trio, like,
Mm-hmm.
the Godhead, like there's
Yeah,
three people
yeah.
with it as well. First of all, my head pastor, Pastor James Fell. That guy's been doing ministry for such a long time, and the conversations and talks and wisdom he, like, bestows upon me really push me into ministry even more. Um, Another pastor that I love to death, that always encouraged me, and you probably know him, Pastor Mishak Soli,
Yep.
down in San Diego. Like, him and I were doing ministry for a while, and he would always keep pushing me just to keep going to ministry and just doing the things from there. And then another person who's still a mentor, so I still talk to, who's all the way in New Zealand, Pastor Paul Siope. I
Nice.
attended one of his seminars he did at the Whittier Church, and then he showed me and taught me that ministry isn't only done by just Bible study.
Yeah.
Ministry is done by being relational with people. And then once I learned that, my whole aspect of how church and how ministry is done changed completely. So yeah, for sure.
Mm.
Oh, thanks, Mishak. Love you
Yeah,
too.
Mishak on here, man. He's saying, yeah, absolutely. You're for real solid leader, bro. So there you go. I noticed you didn't mention my name. That's all right, Lewston. I'm gonna give the girls an opportunity to say that. Just playing. I'm as cool as
I mean,
Mishak, okay? He's got a
there's a
cooler
lot, Iki. There's a
goatee.
lot of pastors,
You
but I have to put
know,
it like down the line or
he he,
generation of like
he
how it
preaches with
changed.
more
That's why.
fire. It's fine, but I'm
Oh
cool
my
too. I'm an
gosh.
islander. I'm from an island. All right. I'm gonna give the girls a
Yes.
chance to mention me here in this time. No, I'm playing. I'm absolutely playing. Ladies, if you could think of somebody who was pivotal in your spiritual growth and helped you become more engaged and feel more safe in church to be engaged as yourself, who would you say that would be? Is there
When you
someone
say
or
being
individuals?
engaged, our church was slightly different. They always took the help. So again, since I started at the age of 7, our members were always open to having the young people do stuff and help and be a part of things. So it was a question of, do you need help? So that's how we just kind of got involved. How I got involved, it was, do you need help? And then I just started getting more involved. And so one of the biggest people that kind of got me involved, I would say, is one of our old members who had passed away a couple years ago. Her name was Thelma Lapine. And she always asked me to do stuff for her, kind of, because she did a lot for our church. And she used to be our old church clerk, and she just needed more help, especially when everything started transitioning to more computer. So I started doing more work with her and helping her do everything. So I learned to do everything she did.
Mm.
So I took over from there.
Wow. Christina, was there somebody that you could point to that, man, you're like, wow, it gave me an opportunity to really get involved in
We
ministry?
can't say icky because we met you when we were already involved in
Yeah,
ministry,
it's
icky.
true. It's true.
But
Yeah, absolutely
I
true.
will say, Icky did pull us into one house in SYYA and gave us a seat at a higher table. Hey, hey,
Lewston, hey, Lewston,
I need him
calm
on my
down,
side,
Lewston.
okay?
It's not your time, Lewston. You had
Oh,
an
sorry.
opportunity, Lewston.
Sorry.
No.
Sorry. Let me drink some water.
I need him on my side.
There.
I'm always on you
Very
guys'
true.
side. I love you guys, man. Listen, yeah, absolutely. As Sarah stated, one house would not function the way it does without you, young adult leaders out there, who is a part of your professional world, but also a part of the church, willing to give ministry. So, Lucid, I want to ask you a question. I'm going to go back up just a little bit here to Alex. Alex asked a great question. I'm sure that Alex probably has had to deal with this question himself. But what's the biggest challenges during COVID? What has been the biggest challenges for you during COVID? I know that you do. You go to the church and you set that stuff up and you stream. I've come into your setting and I've seen how you guys work. You guys got it down real smooth. But what are some maybe unique challenges that you feel like you've had to deal with during these COVID times?
Related to young people or just in general, like in COVID times?
Yeah, let's talk about the COVID times, and then we'll come back around to the challenges working with youth, as well as challenges you faced as a young adult.
Yeah, I think some of the challenges coming to of this COVID, coming to streaming and all that kind of stuff is, for one, internet, for two, and then putting on a church service without an audience.
Oh
It's
man,
one of
that's
the most
rough.
awkwardest things. Yeah, it's super awkward to do. And then also even speaking without an audience. And it's challenging because you can plan a message, you can plan a sermon, and you can put a joke here, and then you expect the audience to laugh, but there's no audience to laugh at your joke, so it becomes challenging. But I would say one of the biggest challenges within COVID is, in the streaming, is not having the fellowship, I
Yeah.
guess, of the people after it's all done. Because you you do it all and you praise God for everything and you're so happy how blessed it is, and then you're hoping that, you kind of want to see the blessing, if that makes sense. You kind of want to see the results from what was done for the program, what was being spoken. And one of the things that came to my mind is, in the life of Christ, the many times he did ministry, he didn't know who he was going to touch, and he had no idea about it until later down in life. And so it's kind of like that's one of the biggest challenges, knowing that even though you don't have the people there, you're doing something for the kingdom of God more than anything else. And so I think that's just for me what one of the biggest challenges was internet, but then also adjusting to a life of no audience, but realizing that what you do is not for the audience, it's for the kingdom of God more importantly. So yeah.
Yeah, it is awkward because as public communicators, we're used to the immediate response, and that helps us. It gives us cues so that we know, okay, this is time for us to stop preaching because everyone is asleep, or you, you know, you get all these cues that you know. When you don't have that, you kind of just guess at it. Like, I'm guessing you're gonna say amen right here. I wonder what it's gonna be like when we all go back to live teaching and preaching, how we're going to respond to people actually being responsive to our stuff. Would we get more offended or would we be more excited about it? It's an interesting thing to think about, definitely. Girls, let me ask you, what is a challenge that you've had to deal with during these COVID seasons, doing ministry, being engaged in your church and whatnot?
For me, I had to learn how to do almost everything. When we went onto lockdown, it was just Pastor Don, who is our senior pastor, and myself live streaming. So I had to purchase cameras, get YouTube account, figure out how to live stream, and then the best way to live stream. So I had to figure all of that out within like 3 days. So when the
Oh my
conference
gosh.
told down and you guys need to start live streaming, I purchased a camera off of Amazon and learned how to do it within 3 days. And on Saturday, the first day of lockdown, we were live up and running on live stream,
Ooh, get it,
and
girl.
I figured that all out in 3 days.
Hey, if Jesus could rise from the grave in 3 days, you could learn streaming in 3 days. All right. That's awesome,
But
man.
I was still in school, so I was taking exams and classes, and so I was learning how to do all of that while learning my actual homework.
Oh,
Sleep.
man.
What is that?
Man, who needs sleep? That's overrated. That's overrated. If you are just catching up with us right now, I'm hanging out with three of the most amazing adults here in Southern California, and we've got a ton of amazing adults in here in Southern California. I'm with Lewston Morris, the Ceballos girls, Hannah and Christina, who are involved heavily in their churches, engaging and continuing to push ministry even in these times, all the while handling their own personal life and their own professional and familial world they have around us. If you haven't already, I want to invite you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hang out with us all in 2021. We've got a bunch of great guests who will be coming on. The president of our union, Pacific Union, will be on here with us in a little while. We're going to have some entrepreneurs talking about some of the cool projects they're working on, musicians and artists, and of course, some of our awesome young adults like we've got today. So while we are here, I wanted to ask you three, did you find the challenge of having to deal with who you were becoming as a young adult and the idea that church has for what a member should look like or what a saint should look like? Did you have to deal with that and come to some kind of reconciliation in yourself and in your identity about being okay with that, with you and with the way church sees people and trying to affect that culture? Lewston. Lewston?
Oh, that for me? Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's all right, Lewston. We're not doing it. We're just chilling here. It's all good, bro. All right.
Give me 1 second. I lost my connection to my earbuds. One.
Okay. Hey girls, why don't you take it on while Lewston's fixing his life?
Okay, I'm back. Life's fixed. Amen. Okay, sorry. Repeat your question. I'm sorry.
Okay. So basically the question is, did you find it challenging having to deal with who you were becoming as a young adult and the pressure or the cookie cutter stereotype that a church had an idea for what a saint should look like or a church member should look like? Did you have to deal with that challenge, and how did you reconcile it? Because I feel like many young people, they kind of have this issue with the church, right? They're like, well, the church wants me to be like this, but I'm, like this is who I am. So have you ever had to deal with that kind of challenge?
Yeah. And that was a challenge that was even for myself. In changing my mindset when it came to ministry.
Mm.
Because growing up in the church, I kind of grew up in that culture where it's like there's a certain way and structure and a look that you're supposed to have as a Adventist. And so mindset and challenge was if someone didn't look a certain way, um, to me, I'm just like, oh, they're a lost cause. And
Mm.
so like you kind of been like, there's no point in fixing them until like they want to fix themselves. And so that became kind of me where it's more the fact of I was more, I'm not gonna lie, more judgmental towards a young person, than actually more accepting of a young person. And so I think for myself, I started to change when it came to being involved in ministry, and then looking at the heart of Christ and how Christ really was. And then going to looking at myself and saying, I shouldn't jump and attack a young person for how they are, how they look, because I've learned, and this is just me personally, there are some people that don't fit the stereotypical idea of what a Adventist or Christian should look like. And no offense, but they're better than any Christian I know that's been in the church for years.
Mm.
So to me, it's like I learned that it's not all what's on the outside of the person, but what's on the inside. And so then that changed my perspective, where the inside of my heart became more open and understanding and more loving and more just showing grace and mercy to every young person, where a young person would come tell me that, oh, Lewston, I went to a party last night and I got drunk. And I'm just like, oh, Lord, you're going to hell. Like, we're done. Like, we can't even say there's no saving you now, to a point where when the young person will come and tell me this, and then I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's fine. I mean, no big deal. Like, we'll just do better the next time and move on. And so it's a learning process. And then going from
Absolutely.
there to then, like, realizing that a young person feels they can tell you more and talk to you more and express more about problems they're feeling on the inside, problems that are going on in the home. So many things that it just starts to change when you stop having the image of what a typical Christian or Adventist should look like, and then realizing that I rather have the image of what Christ wants me to look like more than what the world or religion wants me to be like. So yeah.
Discipleship is a lifelong thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
Oftentimes we'd
it
like to boil
is.
it down to a few pieces of facts and some behavioral things that someone does, and we'd like to make it that simple, but it's really a lifetime journey. It's walking with our young people and loving them the way they are, and blessing them and teaching them and forgiving them and growing with them and living with them. I mean, Peter was walking with Jesus for quite some time, and then Jesus turned around to him one day and said, "Get behind me, Satan." First of all, dang, if the Lord our Savior ever calls you Satan,
Yeah.
that's a rough one. But secondly, to recognize that Peter was learning all the way through up until the resurrection, when he has fish with Jesus, right? And
Mm.
Jesus sends him out again. Like, it's a lifetime process, and we've got to be patient and loving and kind and open and be willing to flex and change along the way. So. Word, Lewston, word. Ladies, what about you?
Honestly,
Yeah,
um,
absolutely.
we were the ones that church members looked at like we were the heathens, because we went from SGA back to public school.
Oh, that's like going
And
to prison, man. When you go to public school, for Christians, they be like, "Oh, you went to public school? Oh, yo, that's
see, there you
solitary."
go. So that's the mentality that we
Yeah,
had to
right.
then overcome. Everyone's like, oh, you go to public school? Ugh. And like Lewston was saying, some of the people that you meet that aren't even Christian, and the people that are outside, are some of like the most loving, most open, most caring that you've met, and they're not even inside the church.
Mm.
So when we left SGA, where everyone has that same mindset, no offense to those who attended Adventist community or Adventist schools and colleges, but when you're with people that all have the same type of mindset, then it's harder to break that mindset. It's harder to reach out to those, because you've never had to deal with being in the middle of it, because you were always surrounded by people that had that mindset as you. But when we went to public school, when we would tell our friends like, oh, we can't do certain activities or go out Friday evenings because we do, church or Vespers, this, that, and the other Friday evenings, and we have church on Saturday. Confused at the beginning. And then after that, we're like, oh, okay, so that's what you do. We started inviting them to things. We started inviting them like to camping or events, Vespers, game nights. And when they were like, wait, this is church? Like, this isn't that bad.
Right. No, this isn't church. Is this church?
Right. And then, of course, no offense to those who dress a little more
Secular?
Or no, I was gonna say no offense to those people who dress a little more conservatively. But at Alhambra Church, we are not very open, or we are very open, and we come in like jeans and pants and
Workout pants?
flip
Yoga
flops,
pants?
because we are always
Because you're
running
gonna do
around.
work for the Lord. You gotta wear them workout pants. You about to do work for Jesus.
Pockets to carry the keys, the phone, the everything.
So in our world, it's not that you have to look a certain way or like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you came to church like that.
Mm.
It's the hey, thank God you came to church.
Hey,
Now
that's a word.
let's
That's
go
a
to Sabbath
word.
school.
Yo, that's a word. Okay, let me ask
And
you
now
this.
everyone's watching at home, COVID time, in pajamas. So
Yeah, I know,
you
right?
go to church however you want to go to church now.
Preach.
I hope that helps us all kind of realign ourselves with how this is supposed to work, like the most important things. Let me ask you this on the heel of that particular question and the way you all answered it. Is there a misconception that people in and out of the church have about young adults that love Jesus and the church?
Personally, for me, I found when I went to public school that explaining to my friends that I'm Adventist and explaining what that meant to me and that I couldn't go out with them Friday night or hang out with them Saturday mornings or go to the movies. They respected that automatically. They understood what it was because some of them were Catholic, some of them were Baptist or other religions. So they understood it in a way that they would on Sunday. But
Mm.
for me, it's Saturday. And they respected that automatically. So I want to say that a lot of people, that misconception that going out into the secular world or being a part of the secular world automatically means you will lose your faith. It does not, I feel. If you yourself are strong in your faith and you love the Lord, you don't have to let that go by being in the secular world. Let people understand that you love the Lord and that is a part of your identity.
Mm.
And they will respect that as we respect any other part of people's identities.
Wow. I heard a pastor once say a long time ago that in order for salt to have flavor, it's got to be poured out. It can't stay in the salt bottle with other salts. So yeah, truth. What about you, Lewston? What is there a misconception that people have about young adults who love Jesus?
Yeah, there's a huge misconception about that. There really is. Because I think one of the challenging things is that as Christians or as Adventists, the problem that we suffer or struggle with is understanding. We don't like to understand or won't try to understand someone's other opinions or ideas. I think it's not even Christians or Adventists, that's a human being problem in general. But like I think it's when you try to see or understand where a young person's coming from, and spend time and listen. And I mean like genuinely listen to them, like in exactly where their mindset is, it changes everything. And then also, I think what the girl said is so true. When your faith is strong, because like I went from a private school to a public school, a public college, and my friends as well knew that hey, Lucian's going out or coming out. He's not coming out Friday night. But if he does come out, he's not drinking. And I'll say this nicely. I had friends who were sorry to say this that are Adventists that pressured me more to drinking than those that were Christian and
It
had
was
no
one time,
relationship with me.
Lewston. All right, I
I
said you
know
didn't
it's
have to drink.
well because you called me out today, so I gotta put you on blast. But I think but I think the sad thing is it's like when you've been I guess closed off or have not been given the opportunity to speak and talk and voice your opinions or really share how you see Christ, because I think we always have this concept of this is how Christ is and how Christ should be, and this is what you need to follow along, go with it. But some other way, for some other person, they may see a different way, and then it's like it opens your mind to just understanding like where they're coming from. I mean, I've heard some profound stuff from people that aren't in the church just because of the time they spent reading the Bible. They may not go to church, but they love God. They really love God, but they love God in their own way. And so I think sometimes if we just stop to understand where they come from, and just listen to them and just be honest and open, like that we know what they're trying to do in their life, and we're not here to change them because that's not our job. Like I think the church would be different, and I think people will have a better understanding how young people feel truly about church.
Man, that's a good word. That's a good word. Yeah, Mishak, I also agree with you. I love the transparency of the dialogue here, and I'm thankful for these young adults, Christina, Hannah, and Lewston Morris. If you are joining us, that is who we're hanging out with today. These young adult professionals in the world are also giving up their time and their love and their efforts to take care of the church. And we've got people out there to thank, family members, teachers, mentors, pastors like Mishak, who pours into our young people, and because of that, it creates a ripple effect where now you guys, Lewston, Hannah, Christina, and other young adults like you are creating these same ripple effects in other young people's lives. I mean, it's a fantastic thing. Can you think of one of the most inspirational moments in your journey, in your spiritual journey? Is there one that sticks out a little bit more than others? And if you could recall that one, which one would it be?
Hmm.
Go ahead, Lucian.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite moments, I guess, in ministry, and I talked about earlier, where planting a seed in a young person's life and then seeing it develop. So I remember one of my young people brought a friend to one of our summer revivals at our church, and this friend was going through a lot of struggles, and at the end of the night, we're sitting down talking, and one of my young people said, "I want you to meet my friend and talk to them." And then I said, "Okay, sure." And it's kind of challenging. I mean, Icky, we all know this. It's like when you're trying to talk to everybody, like it gets kind of hard. It's kind of like you wish, like at those moments, you can clone yourself to just go
Yeah.
talk to everyone. So then, like, you have more free time. Um, but this young person stayed like until to the very end, and I sat down with him and I said, we were talking, and he was telling me stuff about, like, he felt like I'm just being real. Like, he said, I feel like I want to end my life.
Mm.
Like, I feel like, there's no point of me being in ministry at all. And I just told him, and I mean, and that was definitely the Holy Spirit. I said, well, I don't think you want to end your life because you're here today. And
Mm.
like, I feel like God wanted you here at this moment. And
Wow.
then ever since then, he started coming to church over and over and over. And then just saw the realness of church and saw the realness in people and ministry. And so a couple of years ago, he finally got baptized. But I mean,
Wow.
it took a while just to when spend time with him. And then now he's actually still doing ministry, and he's now actually a Bible worker, and he does canvassing and does Bible studies all around. But it's just
Wow.
like it's actually one of my favorite and very happy moments of like just seeing how God worked, and then taking the time to just spend with that one person, and then develop that relationship, and being open and transparent. And there was nothing we ever hid from each other, and so like just seeing how he developed and grew, and now his passion for ministry as well. It's such a blessing, and it really like just it touches my heart to know that like that's just how ministry really is and how
Mm.
it should be.
Mm. What about you, Christina?
Um, one of my pivotal things was something that happened directly and solely to me. Um, so I was backpacking through Europe by myself, and I decided to go from Venice to Vienna on an overnight train. And I was by myself overnight, and the car that I was in ended up filling up with a lot of young gentlemen. It was goes to a soccer game. And when they were all passing by my car, me as a single female by myself. So thinking, who knows what could have happened. So I just sat there and I prayed silently, saying like, Lord, please protect me. Please make sure nothing happens to me because I'm in a foreign country and I'm on a train by myself. So whistle goes, they're saying that it's like the last 5 minutes of the train. And by sheer miracle, this older gentleman who was Argentinian walks into the train, and he and I were supposed to share the the room that we were in. And everyone that saw him walk in thought he was my father because he looked like he could have been my father. My skin tone, everything, older man, and was the sweetest guy. He was a retired doctor and he was visiting his daughter out there. And he was like, oh, I just wanted to go on this trip last minute and just by chance. And literally when I needed to like get up to go to the bathroom or something like that, he walked with me. He made sure that I was protected and taken care of the whole time. And in the morning when we got off the train, we said bye to each other. And like in movies, when you walk away a little bit and then you turn around to look at the person, I turned around and he was completely gone.
Wow.
And I was just like, Lord, thank you. Like, that was you.
Yeah. Goosebumps. Good one.
So
there are
those
angels among us, both
like,
divine and human.
Yeah, so that's one of those moments where you're like, God, you are real. And I know you're real.
Nice. And I'm going to ask for yours, but I'm going to ask for it after we do since the hour has passed. And I want to thank you all for rocking with us. Once again, I want to thank you to my guests who are amazing. Lewston Morris, Hannah Ceballos, and Christina Ceballos. Thank you so much for taking care of our church, for loving people, for letting Jesus be an effervescent light that flows from you as you are being really just yourself in the world around us. I want to inspire and encourage all of our young people out there and those who are just watching along. Hey, be yourself. God loves you. He wants to use you just the way you are. Discipleship is a lifetime journey. You don't have to get it all right now. Don't worry about it. We all make mistakes, except me. I get it right every time. We're going to move on to the love one, leave one section here. I just want to do love one, leave one. Ladies and gentlemen, would you be willing to do a love one, leave one with me?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. All of you watching along for 2021, we're going to do love one, leave ones today. We're going to do that. So feel free to type in your answers. Get ready to go and get ready to type away. We're going to be putting it in right now. Now, I'm going to give you two options in a minute and a half, a list. I will list them out for you, this or that, either this or that. You will choose which one you love. Whichever one you love, everyone in humanity gets to enjoy and use it and enjoy that thing. The thing you choose to leave, no one ever again in the existence of the universe, the cosmos, can ever use that thing. So there's a lot of pressure on you to get it right. Otherwise, the universe will hate you for it. All right? Are you guys ready to go?
Let's do this.
Let's do this. I'm going to do this because there is no... I'm going to throw myself in this third box for you. Boom. There we go. I'm going to take this one out. There. We can be together now. All right. If you're watching along, get ready to type away. We're going to put a minute and a half on the board, and then we are going to ask these questions to these lovely people. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Okay. Live concert or movie night?
Movie night.
Girls?
The concert.
Oh, man. Okay.
See, if she
Breakdancing?
gets concert, can she come to my movie nights?
Yeah. See, you can throw it back and forth. There you go. Now you're thinking. But you're running out of time on the first one. So let's get going. Breakdancing or Korean pop?
Breakdancing.
Korean pop.
I'm gonna love breakdance.
All right. Cats or dogs?
Love dogs.
Love dogs all the way.
Love dogs.
All right. Okay. We're gonna say Santa Monica or Huntington Beach.
Love Huntington.
Huntington Beach.
All
I'm gonna
right.
go Santa
all right.
Monica. I like their Starbucks store.
Okay. Nikes or Puma?
Love
Love
Nike.
Nikes.
Love Nikes.
Tight church shoes or monotone sermons?
Tight church shoes.
Monotone sermon.
You can take off the
I'm-
shoes.
Rollerblades for feet or chopsticks for fingers?
Oh, love chopsticks for fingers.
Rollerblades.
Chopsticks.
All
A
right.
lot.
Bethel Praise or Kirk Franklin?
Kirk Franklin.
Kirk
Love
Franklin.
Kirk Franklin.
Oh, so good, my friends. You did horribly, but welcome to the end. So good. Now,
I mean,
so-
you could have dropped the Leave 2020 behind or something.
yeah.
Love 2020, Leave 2020.
Yeah, it's a give or take. Some of you guys had some good ones here. If you were watching along with the homies, they were jumping in there with us. Eustace likes Kirk Franklin and would rather have rollerblades for feet. Eustace, interesting. Great answer, bro. Let me see. Oscar, rollerblades for feet. Matthew, for Revolution. I don't know where that came
I mean,
from, Matthew.
Kirk Franklin. It's one of his songs.
I was
Oh,
thinking, like
duh.
Edward Scissorhands. So chopsticks.
Yeah, that's true. And you can still eat with chopsticks. No?
Oh, no. No.
Hannah, tell us, what is one of the inspirational things in your life? One of the things that sticks out in your spiritual journey? Hannah? Oh,
Is,
there you go.
Sorry.
That's all right.
I'm gonna throw this out there. Meeting Jillian.
Hey!
Jillian really changed our youth group dynamics, and she really helped bring us back together, and that really helped me continue with doing some of our church work. So
Wow.
Jillian, love her, miss her.
Wow. Jillian is an experience, my people. She's not just a person. She's an experience. That's phenomenal. Thank you, Hannah. And thank you, Jillian. And thank you, Meshach. And thank you, Eustace. And thank you for all of you watching along. Thank you to Lewston and Christina for our time together. It blew by. Our hour is over, my friends. But as we round out our time together, I do want to ask each of you to share something inspirational for that young Hannah out there, or the young Lewston who's waiting to be invited into ministry, or that young Christina who's fired up about the world. Could you all just share a quick bit of inspiration for all of those who are listening and who might catch this at a later time? I'm going to start with you, Lewston. Would you share something with us?
Yeah, I would say to anyone out there who wants to get involved in ministry and feels like maybe they're not worth it, you are. And you have such tremendous talent and gifts that, trust me, God is going to just take that thing to a whole nother level that honestly you never thought you would ever do. And so don't give up. Don't let anyone discourage you of what they say or what they don't like. Because you're never here to please people. You're here to please the man up above. And that's the only person that you ever want to do stuff for, because that's what really matters. People's words mean nothing besides the words of well done, good and faithful servant. And that's the only ones that I feel like we all should want to hear when the time comes to an end.
Awesome. Wow. Thank you, Lewston. Okay, Hannah, give us a word.
I would say don't wait to be invited.
Ooh.
Don't wait. If you have an idea, if you have a way to help, then start doing it. I didn't wait. I asked if they needed help, and if they didn't, I moved on. But if they did, I found a way to help them. So don't always wait, because if they don't know you're willing to help and be included, you will never get that invitation.
Wow. Thank you, Hannah. That's a good word. Christina.
It's better to ask for forgiveness than for permission. I'm just saying, because sometimes people are so stuck in their old mindset and way of thinking, like, oh, but this is how we've always done it. And sometimes the young people come with new ideas and want to try out new things and want to do it a new way. So sometimes just don't listen to some of the older folks, sad to say, but you can always ask the board for forgiveness later on, especially if it goes off like really well and you get the results and you're like, but look, it worked.
Nice. Nice. A little inside tidbit there from Christina Ceballos. Thank you, my friends. Thank you, Lewston. Thank you, Christina. Thank you, Hannah. And thanks to all of you guys. I'm going to take 2021 on, and I want to invite you to come on that journey with me. Let's do this. I want to hang out with you. Some of you are going to become guests on here, and we're just going to talk about life. We're going to go through things. Obviously, we're going to have, our president, Ricardo Graham on here, Valino, Salazar. We might have Mark Woodson on. We're going to have a bunch of musicians and different people all across the arena of life. And I want to invite you to just join along. So if you haven't already, jump over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/OneHouseSocal, and subscribe to it so that every week you'll catch an update. And of course, through the seasons, we're going to be doing our giveaways like we did December giveaways. Every week we gave something away. We gave a gift away to one of our viewers. And we're going to be doing that on a regular basis here. Not every week, but maybe once a month or so. We're gonna enjoy that. So do me a favor and do that. I want to thank my guests today for being awesome, carrying ministry through the COVID. I want to thank you for rolling along in 2021. God bless all of you. Happy New Year's. My love to all of you guys. Stay safe until the second Tuesday of the new year. Thanks, guys, for being on with me.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Bye, guys.
You guys are awesome. And you guys are awesome. Peace and love, my friends. Peace and love.